Welcome to the exciting world of tourism and hospitality. Now we are going to discuss the next presentation, which is in continuation to the travel agency we've discussed in the first two presentations. The idea of this presentation shall be to clarify the following: the travel lingo, which we'll discuss now, information about ticketing, information about travel documentation. So let us now understand the technical jargon or the travel jargon which is used, or travel lingo which is used, the terms, the language or the abbreviations which are used in the travel trade. So certain terms and abbreviations are used in the travel agency business along with the phonetic alphabet. Travel agency staff spends a lot of time on the telephone. Often they are dealing with cracking lines and with people whose accent is unfamiliar. In these unfavorable circumstances, we often trying to dictate or to hear reference numbers on which somebody's travel plans depends. In order that there should be less confusion, no ambiguity and more clarity, you will hear people using a phonetic alphabet. As a student of travel trade also, you should be very well aware of the languages, the technical travel jargon, in which the travel trade people speak. This is your future, because tomorrow you might be working for a travel agency or you might start your own travel agency. Then you should know how to talk. Like example, you open your own ticketing department. Now people, that's why we discuss this phonetic alphabet, that you may not be able to hear properly, and that one mistake in the spelling may not allow that traveler to fly only. So that's a big cost for a travel agent, because it would mean loss of business with that client forever. And not only him, he would tell other 10 people that this travel agent is very unprofessional. So he will not travel with you. So you have to take this very seriously. You must understand these, in fact, learn by heart these abbreviations, these travel lingo, and that becomes very helpful when you're working for a travel company, travel agency. So the name given to each letter has been carefully chosen because they don't sound like much else, and there's a little scope for error. The system is known as phonetic alphabet. The phonetic alphabet is a means of giving correct information such as client's detail with a much reduced possibility of error. Suppose I have to tell my ticketing agent to issue a ticket for a particular person. So the spelling, there's a high probability of a mistake of the spelling. So with this, if I use the correct, the language, the technical jargon, there would not be any room for ambiguity. By giving names to each letter of the alphabet, it is possible to relay information accurately. So let us go through them, which you must know. Which A stands for Alpha, B for Bravo, C for Charlie, D for Delta, E for Echo, F for Foxtrot, G for Golf, H for Hotel, I for India, J for Juliet, K for Kilo, L for Lima, M for Mike, N for November, O for Oscar, P for Papa, Q for Quebec, R for Romeo. So all these. S for Sierra, T for Tango, U for Uniform, V for Victor, W for Whiskey, X for X-ray, Y for Yankee, Z for Zulu. Example, let me give you an example. Suppose I have to write the name of Zian. Zian is traveling to London. So Zian, I would tell my agent Z for Zulu, I for India, A for Alpha, N stands for November, Zian. So that way if I will give the phonetic, would be able to understand more. Now let's come to the second aspect of travel agency terms which are there. So when you're working for a travel agency, there are various terms which you must be aware of. Number one is booking or reservation. This is a seat, room or other service to be provided to a travel agent or to a traveler or a hotel guest at some future date or time. When a reservation is made, it is the promise to provide the client with an agreed product or service for which the client promises to pay. So reservation contains details of the client's name, address and the type of service to be provided. This could be an airline ticket, a hotel room, a meal in a restaurant, etc. Sometimes we hear that please make a reservation for me in a hotel, or make a reservation at 8 o'clock in this restaurant, or make a reservation for me in a particular airline. You're traveling by Emirates to Dubai, or you are staying in a particular hotel. I want to make a reservation for 2 nights in Hotel Holiday Inn, example. So this reservation means that you are giving a confirmation that you are going to stay in this property, or you are going to avail this service or a ticket, on a particular agreed date and time. Next comes this option. An option, or more correctly, an optional booking, is a reservation which is held for a fixed length of time only, and at the end of that time it must be confirmed and paid for or cancelled. Always be sure to establish whether reservations are confirmed or not. Option is, many tours are not given as a mandatory option. Like as I gave you an example of Mauritius, where you can, if you have an option of taking an excursion tour or not. If you wish, you may opt for adventure or water activities, a visit to the island. Otherwise, visiting the nearby places for water activities. If you're not interested to pay for that, you do not like doing the water activities, you may skip it. So that is purely optional choice with you. So then we have confirmation. Confirmation, this is a clear statement which ensures that the service to be provided is held fully available and will be paid for. So confirmation shows that this is a choice with you, whether you want to confirm the service or not. So what I discussed with you was earlier was optional, that it's an option, it is not mandatory. And option is, there are different choices. Option, like I'm given a option of 2 hotels. So I have 2 options, whether I want to take this hotel or the other hotel. Or I have the option, I want to opt for, maybe one package or the other package with the travel agent is offering me. So there is a difference. Optional means you have a choice, means the optional excursions which are extras, you have to pay separate for them. They are not covered in the cost of the package. And option is, there are 2 or 3 options given to you, and out of that you select either one. It could be the package choice, which could vary in terms of inclusions, or it could be the hotel property, or it could be the airlines, and you have to choose between either of those. So we have discussed confirmation. Now we come to overbooking. Overbooking occurs when a hotel sells more rooms than it has available, or an airline sells more seats than those that actually exist on a flight. So you might overbook thinking that many people may not turn up, so you don't want the flight or the hotel rooms to go empty, so you may overbook sometimes. But this can backlash also. If everybody turns up, then you might have to ask people, like for airlines give you airline voucher. They might ask you to bump off the flight, and then they might ask you that they will accommodate you in the next flight. So this overbooking has its pros also and the cons also. Industry principle, it can be described as a primary provider of service, like we have the airlines, we have the hotels, so they are the industry principle. Deluxe hotel. Deluxe hotel, a hotel which is the highest standards of services and facilities are the deluxe hotels, which have the best of the services. We could say the Le Méridien, we could say the Taj, and all these are deluxe hotel properties which are very, very giving the best of the properties. Then we have the tourist hotel, which are budget properties which offer a low price range for people who are budget travelers. This is a good choice. Resort hotel, which mainly caters to the holiday makers and which contains a high level of leisure facilities within its complex. Generally, resorts are scattered units, and they are in more scenic locations such as hill stations, by the sea, all these places. And then we have the double room, a room for 2 people with 1 double bed. Twin room it's basically we have 2 different beds for 2 different beds which are separated by a headboard or a table in same room. So 2 people can stay in 1 room, but they would have 2 separate beds. Single room is 1 person can only stay in 1 room. Like we have the single supplement which we pay for. Then hotel rate, the prices change by a hotel for the various types of room on offer. These are prices which are charged by a hotel. That's a hotel rate. And then we have the rack rate, the hotel rate charged to someone who just inquires. No special prices are given, but that's just an inquiry. You might have seen generally mentioned, the room tariff is mentioned in the hotels also. Its published rates are called as basically rack rates. Then we have the full board American plan hotel rate, which includes accommodation and 3 meals. All meals are included in American plan along with the hotel stay. in the breakfast, lunch and dinner included. Harbour or modified American plan is where it includes accommodation, breakfast and either one of the major meals, that is lunch or dinner. Then we have the continental plan or bed and breakfast, hotel rate which includes accommodation, breakfast only. Then we have the European plan which has room only and there are no meals are included. Then we have the next check-in term, which is at the airport, passengers check in when she goes through the formalities required to board an aircraft. So generally the check-in will happen at the check-in counter at the airport of the respective airline which you are flying with. And check-in is not only in respect of the airlines, check-in could also be in respect of the hotels. When the hotel guest check-in, when he registers with the hotel reception, this involves completing a registration card on which gives details about the guest. Then we have the checkout. Checkout is basically when you are moving out of the hotel after having spent a good time there. These are the formalities which a hotel guest undertakes before departure. This is usually latest time by which checkout should be completed on departure day. Generally, like hotels in India, they have the 12 o'clock is afternoon is the checkout time. By that time, they must check out of the hotel. After this time, another night rates becomes payable. So that you might request for 2 hours or 1 hour more after the checkout time. But generally, if you want to stay for more time, then you have to pay for the extra night. Then we have the cancellation fee. This is the amount to be paid by a passenger or guest who cancels or fails to use a reserved flight or accommodation. Cancellation fees are usually only payable when either last minute notice or no notice is given. So generally cancellation fee when you like when you do not it's a no show, you do not turn up, so you have to pay for the by the passenger. You have to pay for the amount whether you avail the service or not. Commission, that is the amount which is paid by a travel agent to a travel agent by airlines and other suppliers of services for the sale of air transportation or any other service like the cruises and all, cruise liners and all. Then we have the destination, the place to which a person is traveling to. Origin, the place from which the person is traveling. Fare, the amount to be paid for transportation, that is fare. Now we come to the next term, that is the high peak season. This is the time of the year when rates are the highest. It is normally the time of year when tourist numbers are high, when the footfall of tourists is high. Low season is, of course, the opposite, and shoulder season falls between the two. Let me give you an example of India. For us, the high season is, or the peak season is, between October to March. This is the time when we have the maximum tourists due to the congenial environment in the country, as well as we also have the lot of fairs and festivals which happen during this time, which is a good time for the tourists to visit. So we have the most inbound season for tourists is at this time. Likewise, if I take an example of Europe, the best time to visit for them the peak season for inbound tourists is between it starts from April and it goes on till August. So that is their time, that is their peak season. So every country may have their different peak seasons depending upon their climatic condition. And and to bring more tourists during the off-peak season or the low season, the many destinations they give, or many travel agents give discounts, packages. Hotels also give packages just to promote tourism within that destination. So like for example, we take example of Goa. The peak season to visit Goa is during this time, the December, the Christmas time and the New Year time. So many people celebrate the Christmas and New Year in Goa during December. So that is the peak time of visiting Goa, the peak time for Goa. All hotels, all restaurants are full already. So you must have advanced bookings if you want to travel there. Now next comes is inclusive tour. This is a complete package which includes transfers, transport and accommodation. Other services may also be included from time to time. So basically inclusive tour means if I am buying inclusive tour means I don't have to worry about anything. All my meals are taken care of, my visa charges, my stay, my flight tickets, my railway tickets, if I'm traveling by train in between, my internal transfers, my sightseeing tours, my entry fee, everything is taken care in the inclusive tour, everything. So I don't have to pay even a single penny. Even the tips also are included in the inclusive tour. Then all-inclusive arrangements. It is important to be aware that there is a new style of holiday where the client pays a fixed price for the usual inclusive arrangements, but for such things as unlimited drinks and snacks and use of sport equipments or other services. These arrangements lead to almost cashless holidays and are only available at selected resort hotels. They must not be confused with inclusive tours. And there are many abbreviations also. There are so many, but we just discuss like COM rate, which means commission rate. PTA stands for prepaid ticket advice. They're all abbreviations which are used in travel trade. REQ means request. Then RFD means refund. RR means reconfirmed. SGLB means single room with bath. SGLN single room without bath. So these are some of the abbreviations like SGLS with shower, SKD schedule, SS sold, ticket, total. So basically the people of the travel trade use short forms, abbreviations in day-to-day correspondence through email. So for that they use these abbreviations. So you must be, as a tourism student, even if you're opting for this as a career, you must also be aware of these abbreviations. So operations management. A well-established travel agency would have various departments such as ticketing, which includes both the international and domestic tours, includes outbound and domestic, facilitation and allied services, conferences, etc. Each of these departments functions as a separate unit, though it draws support from the others. A good manager must know how to run each of these units. It is also essential for tourism professionals to be aware of these aspects, as such knowledge helps in dealing with other organizations. Now, let us come to ticketing. Booking and issuing tickets is a major operation of the travel agency. It is essential for a travel agency employees to have knowledge about air ticket in the international as well as domestic sectors. Besides ticketing, this knowledge covers a variety of other aspects like reservation systems, fares and the class of travel, regulations related to baggage, forbidden items, special passengers, passports, visas and health, use of travel directories and hotel index, etc. So when you are opening a ticketing department, you must have full knowledge of the ticketing, and you must have done various courses in that. You must know what are the airlines regulations, what are the prohibited items, what is allowed in cabin baggage, what is not allowed, what are the check-in baggage allowance, cabin baggage allowance, what are who are considered as special passengers, information about passport, visa, everything you should be aware of as a ticketing agent. Ticketing is very important. So a travel agency manager or an employee must know the various procedures related to these aspects. We must know this as a student of tourism that ITAS divide the world into 3 geographical regions, which are referred to as traffic conference areas. We call them TC area 1, TC area 2, TC area 3. So there are different parts of the world, countries of the world which are divided into different regions. You should know which region, for which country falls in which region. It's very important from the ticketing purpose, and you must be very thorough with these. For your geography should be very much updated for this. In order to issue tickets, you must be well aware of these areas. Then we also must have knowledge of the fares, the classes in the airlines and other services. Airline fares can be divided into normal fares and special fares. Normal fares have few restrictions. They allow travel on any day of the week that there is a service, and changes, cancellations and refunds can be made without any penalty. So many people travel on normal fares, but generally they are on the higher side. However, special fares are lower than normal fares, and there will be restrictions concerning the dates of flights, the length of stay, and especially refunds, cancellation. There are a lot of penalties on the cancellations, refunds, and changes to the timings will be restricted or totally forbidden. So you may be aware that most airlines offer 3 classes of services on their international flights, and these are referred by different codes, which are first class, code F or P, business class, code C or J, economy class, code Y. So the first class is the best class to fly with, then comes business class, and then comes economy. Not every airline offers all class zone flights. We must understand this. And as you would expect, the higher the class, the better the comfort, space, and facilities that airlines has to offer. With every class, the facilities would become better. Of course, none of this is free. The passengers in the higher classes have paid much higher fares, so that they expect much better facilities. When you sell example at a more expensive rate, so you will need to explain in detail to the client what extra he or she is getting for money. Note that many airlines give their higher class of service or brand names also. Like British Airways has Club World, Cathay Pacific has Marco Polo class. So they have branded their basically first class and business class to create a difference from the economy class. And obviously, when the customer is staying in the business class, business class has more comfortable seats and more space, more leg space. And you get butler services also, and you get Wi-Fi free services, and many other services may be provided, such as free airport transfer for those who travel by business class. So this may vary from airlines to airlines. So for this is what they are charging for, the comfort and the services that they are offering to the client. The other major difference between the classes is the amount of baggage a client is allowed to carry with him or her within the fare. So you need to learn that these allowances and be sure to advise passengers accordingly. First class passengers generally allowed 40 kg of checked baggage, and business class they are allowed 30 kg of checked baggage. Economy class is allowed 20 kg of checked baggage. On certain routes, the baggage allowance is more generous and is on a piece system also. We must understand this will also vary from airline to airline. This is just a standard practice. However, this may vary from airline to airline. Sometimes some airlines may give more. Instead of 20, they may give 25. Like Air India is quite generous in giving checked in baggage allowance. But beyond that, but this is not the case with all the international airlines. So on certain routes, the baggage allowance is more generous. And piece system is followed. So many countries, like especially South America, the piece system is followed. So you must know how many pieces are allowed. Allowance are then 1 piece for Y class, 2 piece for J class, 3 piece for F class. Actually, this depends upon the kind of class you are traveling in. And then also there is a capping on the maximum size of the bag which you can carry, which should be the sum of height plus the length. So generally the carry-on baggage is 5 to 7 kg which you can carry. And the number of pieces would also again vary on the carried baggage depending upon the class of your travel. So that does not mean that you cannot carry extra baggage. You are most welcome to carry extra baggage, but you have to pay for every kg much you are carrying, and that depends from airlines to airlines. Some people who wish to travel, because this is the baggage allowance which is provided by the airline. Beyond that, whatever you carry, you have to pay for it. Some people wish to travel with more luggage than it is permitted under their free allowances listed above. So airlines are not obliged to carry this excess baggage. However, they will often do this at a price. The baggage is weighed, the free allowance deducted, and then the client must then pay the excess baggage charges, which are calculated to a formula. So excess baggage you have to pay. So other advices for passengers are like, you're also supposed to inform your client about the forbidden items. Many things like sharp things are not allowed, liquid items are not allowed, especially in the cabin and baggage. Weapons and ammunition, obviously, gas containers, explosives, live creatures, radioactive materials, these all are not allowed at all. So you must tell your client about this as a travel agent. Many airlines are able to offer help to the passengers, especially needed. Many special clients like parents who are traveling with small babies and young children with parents, unaccompanied young children, physically challenged, disabled people, sick people. So the airline staff may offer help to such passengers, to the people who have special abilities, physically challenged, all these. So the next part is the travel documentation, and vital part of passenger briefing is advising passengers, especially on international journeys, about the documentation they are required to carry. So they must carry the right documents like the travel, the passport, which should be valid for 6 months from the date of travel, and so that it should not expire when you are traveling within a country. You must have the right visa with you. So all these advices are any permits which are required. So all these advices of documentation are offered by the travel agencies. And the visa also, they provide full support. Some travel agencies also help you get your visa done. So on the visa, the passport is not the criteria for traveling to country. That's the first criteria. Second is you must get a visa. Many countries have visa on arrival, but many countries ask you to take visa prior from your country when you are about to depart for their country. So you have to pay the visa fee, and you have to submit all the documentation. So many nations impose the need to apply for visas, and in some cases it takes time. The visa processing takes time from 10 to 15 days also. Such as countries like, if I am as an Indian, I am applying from here for UK or Schengen visa, Australia visa, I make 10 to 15 days. So you should be accordingly, you should take time in hand. Then we have the health precautions. Details, advices may be found in the ABC Guide to International Travel. You should be aware that all health matters for travelers fall into two sections. One is compulsory vaccinations, which are important. Without a certificate, you cannot carry, especially for countries like Africa. If you are traveling in any parts of Africa and South America, you must have this yellow vaccination done with you. Advisable precautions which are not enforced but which are for the traveler's own good. Compulsory precautions are usually well documented, but a good travel agent will seek out the others and advise the client. So you must check which country you are traveling to, or are there any compulsory vaccinations or any advisable precautions that you must adhere to, especially if you are traveling during at this time of pandemic you are traveling. So you must check all the advisory precautions you must take. You must be sanitized. You must carry sanitizer with you all the time. You must carry, this PP kit with you all the time. So, all these things, whenever and wherever are required, the advisable precautions, should read the travel advisories also, and or the compulsory vaccination, you must take care of that. So with this, I would like to recapitulate what we have discussed. We started with the travel agency, that when you're working for a travel company, you must know what is the travel lingo, the jargon in which the people speak, and you must be aware of the phonetic alphabets, like A for Alpha, B for Bravo, C for Charlie. Then there are different technical terms which are used in travel trade, like SDL, single room, double room, twin room, or confirmation, or reservation. So all these things you must know what is their meaning, and then you must know the various abbreviations, the short forms which are used in the trade. Then we have this complete aspect of ticketing. And as a ticketing agent, you must know that the world is divided into different TC areas, TC1, TC2, TC3 by IATA. So you must have sound knowledge of that, and you must be aware of the various fares and the various classes on which people can travel by a flight, or various baggage allowances. And you must suggest your clients the various health regulations, the visas, or the necessary documentation which they must have before they travel to any place. Thank you very much, and wishing you a successful learning once again. Thank you.